Good morning, people of YouTube, and welcome to the Slippery channel. I hope everybody's having a fine Friday morning, looking forward to the weekend like I am. Got a busy weekend ahead. And first things first, I want to send a shout out to Dan King. Looks like he's having a great time with his son, visiting lots of places down in New York, enjoying the beaches. And I tell you, for all you guys out there, New York has some of the greatest beaches around, all the way from Rockaway to Coney Island, out to Long Island, especially the South Shore beaches on the Atlantic, but some of the North Shore beaches are nice on the Sound as well. So I'm glad they're having a great time. I guess, Dan, you couldn't take your son on his favorite ride last night because of the lightning, but you know what? Today's another day, so have fun. So I guess some of you saw I had a flat on the expressway. I ran over like this. I didn't know what it was, but I saw the tire. When I took the tire off, it was like this cable staple, this huge cable staple that got embedded in my tire. But I called my son, and he came with a trailer, and we threw the bike on the trailer and sorted it all out, and I got it fixed, and I'm back on the road. And you guys probably asking, you know, why I need a trailer and stuff like that. Well, there is a kit, a plug kit that you get with BMWs have it, but it's for all bikes. A nice plug kit that if you do get a flat, you can plug the tire, and it has those little things like little CO2 cartridges like Wally uses for his pop guns, or you can use to make whipped cream, that you can blow up the tire after you plug it. But the problem was on the particular bike I was riding, it has a spoked rim, and it has a tube, so that all wouldn't have helped. So I had a couple options. I just called my son though, and he picked me up. I could have probably taken the tire off on the side of the road and taken it somewhere to get fixed, but sometimes it's a pain in the ass to get the tube. But I got it sorted out, and it was kind of a cool thing. I put a picture up on my Facebook page of Suffolk County Highway Patrol cop stopped by to check on me. Real nice guy, Officer Kurt, and a motorcycle guy too. He wasn't riding that day, but he was in his cruiser, and he stopped by to check up on me, kind of gave me the thumbs up, asked if I was okay, and then I kind of walked over, and we ended up having a conversation about motorcycles. And actually there were some common people that he and I knew, and it was obvious he'd been on the force a long time, so he's been to the rodeo. So I think I'm going to call these kind of rides as like Slippery's motorcycle monologues, because if you guys watched my last one, I guess it was watched quite a bit. It's got a little over 100 views. So I guess there's some people interested in this Wally saga. I don't think there's as many as Wally thinks there are, but you know, there's a couple, and most people are clueless. It's kind of like a little bit of an entertaining distraction, because Wally's kind of like a dog. You throw the ball out there, and he'll always bring it back. And obviously that motorcycle monologue, I guess I'll keep that name. It drove him crazy. I think he's up to like 5 or 6 videos. Like it seems to me like he was watching it, and every time something came up, he lost his mind. And there's a couple things in some of the videos that he's made responding to that kind of proves everything that I've been saying, especially some of the Esteban stuff. But Wally, the one thing about it is, you know, why you have to bring my daughter into it? Why do you even mention her? What's the deal with that? What do you think? You think that's gonna get you some kind of credibility? I mean, you're always complaining that you want some kind of special recognition, or you're always citing the Americans with Disabilities Act, and then you bring my daughter into it, a person who's been disabled since she's born. And you've called her, what have you called her? You've called her a retard. You said she looks like Goonie from the Sloths, or Sloth from the Goonies. You said she looked like her tits were plugged into a socket. You said she should have been aborted. But, you know, those things we should all conveniently forget, because I guess that's when you were shock jocking. That's shock jock stuff, right, Wally? So how are we to discern when you're shock jocking and when you're being the real Wally? Is that something that, can you put a disclaimer on the bottom? when you're shock jocking and when you're not. So you want to be this disabled guy, but you have no respect for other disabled people. You know, you use them as props like you do your whole life. You use everybody as a prop. So yeah, he's predictable like a good dog. You throw something out there, you make a video, and he fetches the ball and brings it back and then goes crazy for like 5, 6, 7 videos. But the Esteban thing is really, really good because he thinks he's Esteban's guardian. And just to prove how Wally, he's not truthful with anybody, least of all the people that he considers his audience, because he was talking about Esteban, and he's all twisted that I had called Esteban, and he's enthralled with this name. The first time I left a message, I used the name Lucian Stevenson, and that was for a very particular reason that I used the name Lucian Stevenson, because this dummy, he wrote an email to everybody in my lodge, including a person that he just spoke about on his latest video. He wrote them all emails under the pseudonym Lucian Stevenson, that he was, that Lucian Stevenson was Walter's good friend, and that he was, that I was saying really awful, evil, nasty things about him. And he wrote that to like, I don't know, he wrote that to like 100 people in emails all over the place, and they all contacted me with this, like, who the hell is this guy, with all these screen captures of pictures of my house and where I live and everything else. So yeah, that's the significance of Lucian Stevenson for everybody that doesn't know the backstory, because you also notice when Wally replays that telephone call, he beeps out stuff. And he beeps out stuff because it's the stuff that he doesn't want you to hear, because Wally does shady shit, and he knows the only reason that I called Esteban is because Wally put stuff on YouTube that Esteban should know about. He does it without Esteban's knowledge, and he video records confidential conversations surreptitiously and then puts them up, and they don't even that are about other people that they should know about. It's shady shit. And then the other thing he said about the whole Esteban thing is that I somehow scoured the internet and scoured, you know, I got a private investigator, and I got onto the internet and the white pages, and I looked up every Esteban in the state of North Carolina, and I called every Esteban until I found the Esteban, which is all a lie and is all untrue, because Esteban gave out his own phone number on one of Big Dopey Wally's live stream, and I'm gonna put the clip in it for you. And I'm sorry, Esteban, but you know, when you have a friend like Wally who completely always is untruthful and can't tell the truth about anything, you know, you have to do like Dan King, and you have to show your receipts, because Wally always can never tell the truth about anything. There's always, you know, there may be a grain of truth in something, and I've said this before, there might be a grain of truth, but then, you know, it always goes off the rails, it always goes sideways.
And when you need some repairs in your house, just call me. 704 and so many numbers. He's gonna tell you the numbers. Oh, 704-615-3977.
What's up, Lord Sauce?
It's
Oh, really?
it always ends up in a place, and then I don't know if he forgot that Esteban doxed himself on his own live stream, or he just conveniently doesn't want to mention it, or he just wants to make the story into something it actually isn't. So I'm going to cut that into this. Maybe I'll put it at the end of it. I don't know how I'm going to edit it, which leads me to some other interesting tidbits about my channel. You know, I'm beginning to be a big YouTuber. I know I don't have like a Dan King type audience, because Dan King is actually a lot funnier and probably a lot more articulate, and he has a way of telling stories that I really enjoy. It's kind of funny. But I've been using this GoPro camera, and I talked to a couple of guys, including Hidden, about the right settings to use for uploading videos. So like 1080 and 60 frames seems to be the going thing on YouTube. You see some vloggers that do some really great sharp video up to 4,000, and I was trying to edit a video that I shot at that speed on my home computer, and it doesn't have the computing power to do it. So old Slippery had to go to Amazon, and I dropped a laptop in the basket, and hopefully I can upload some better quality videos, because I'm actually watching some of these vlogger channels, and I mentioned one before, this Itchy Boots. This Dutch woman makes some outstanding videos, and she also uses a drone. A friend of mine has a drone, and it's the coolest thing in the world. And I was researching some drones, and not for a YouTube channel or any of that stuff to like try to be some kind of professional YouTuber, which I'm not, but sort of just for fun. So I dropped DJI Mavic 2S into the basket, and when I get that, I'm going to play around with it. Maybe I'll upload some shots on here to see how it looks. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's something new, Hey, we all have hobbies. Like you saw that Wally exposed me. He exposed me, but you're wrong, Wally. In one of his videos, he exposed me for barbecues. Yeah, guilty. I plead guilty. Barbecues. Yes, I'm involved in barbecues, and yeah, I do we call it a skeet and eat. I do that once every year for some of the guys. You put up the picture of all the guys in there, Wally. They appreciate it. They appreciate you pointing fingers at them for for having contempt for that event. And many of those events, we actually raise a lot of guys in that picture actually drive kids to Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia on their spare time. Some of them are retired, so they do it, but a lot of those guys do that. So we raise a couple of bucks for that fund, where we can offset the costs of renting a car or the gas costs, and they bring patients down to Shriners and bring them back with their parents. So yeah, I plead guilty to the skeet and eat. It's a nice, fun event, We do it like once a year, and it's good. And yeah, I actually have a bunch of stuff stockpiled. I probably have more shotgun shells stockpiled than Wally has BBs in his tins. And you know what, Wally? We do it outside. Did you see that picture? That was in the summer. That was like, I think this year we were planning on doing one like the end of August, but we pushed it off a little bit because to get more people involved, we like to get about 20. 20 is about the top end of it. We like to get 15, 18 people, make it worthwhile, make it a nice day out. And then we come back to my house and we have a barbecue. Guilty, Wally, barbecue. And yes, yeah, I do have some hobbies. Yeah, I do have the motorcycle, but Wally, I don't know where you got the idea of $30,000. There are some BMWs that cost upwards of $30,000, but this one was kind of expensive when I bought it, but it's 2003, so it's coming up on 20 years old, Wally. So I don't know, and I don't know what I'm not the guy that puts my life on YouTube for everybody to see and talks about my finances and talks about how I needed a grant to pay my rent, and how my life depends on getting my monthly government cheese check to survive. I don't get any government cheese checks to survive, Wally. Everything I earned by working for like 16 hours a day for 35 years. So like to compare my situation with yours is it's not a good analogy. You should try something else. And I thought about Dan, and he's having fun with his kid, Wally, and it doesn't look like you'll ever be able to experience something like that. I don't know, Wally. You think it's someday that if you're stranded on the side of the road and you pick up a phone, your son will drop everything he's doing, grab a trailer and pick you up? I don't know. Maybe your son and your daughter will talk about you the same way as you talk about your parents. And I can only hope, because you would deserve it for the way you talk about other people. Wally always talks about this that I or Dan or other people have been torturing this guy for like 5 years. We're trolling this guy for 5 years. And that's all nonsense too. Wally, I defy you to show your receipts. Show your receipts to your audience who you make these claims about. Show them any interaction that you or I have had from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or even 5 years ago. The only interaction we had 5 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago, whatever it was I instant messaged you about you putting up these offender solution certificates for violence courses and alcohol abuse, and I tried to advise you not to do that, because it isn't anyone else's business what your situation was with your baby mama. And that article that showed that you were arrested for criminal obstruction of breathing and like 5 other charges. I advised you not to put that stuff up there, and we got into like an instant message sort of argument over it, where you did all the same word salad, that it's never your fault, it's always somebody else's fault, and you take no blame in anything. So that was the one interaction, and maybe I made a couple comments on your Facebook page. And in between all of that stuff was years. And the only time that you resurfaced was when you resurfaced, somebody sent me an instant message about this Negra Azucar person that made a comment on I think it was on a Facebook page of WCNC about something that happened to you in North Carolina after your car got vandalized. It's something to do with your political your political insanity, because it's okay to support a candidate, but like, you've dedicated your life to politics, and that's why that's why you have so many issues. I mean, that stuff will drive you out of your mind. I mean, you gotta calm down. Yeah, so show your receipts about any internet or other interactions we might have had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Show your receipts on that, because you keep claiming that, but it's absolutely untrue. And as a matter of fact, my first interaction with you on YouTube, and I've told this story before, it was on my old channel that you did all the copyright stuff with, because all I basically did was take snippets of your own videos and you saying crazy and ridiculous things, and you reported it for copyright, and I didn't know how to handle it back then, so my channel got taken away. Whereas your channel, your first channel, got taken away, that had 1,800 subscribers. I don't know, they must have been cheaper back then because you had more subscribers. I guess they were cheaper to buy back then. That was like a year ago. So yours got taken down for harassment, bullying, and something else. And that was YouTube's message on it. The channel was taken down for harassment and bullying and all kinds of other stuff, because you were calling all kinds of people names, and like when you were calling my daughter a retard, and she looked like Sloth from the Goonies, and all kinds of other disgusting, despicable stuff, and where you were calling this one woman, she had cancer and was recovering from it, and you said that she shouldn't, you wouldn't fuck her with a stolen dog dick or some other real classy shit like that. That's why it was taken down, Wally, in case your audience doesn't know, because most of your audience are just clueless and just see a big dummy behind the screen ranting and raving and huffing and puffing and beating his chest about stupid shit like civil wars and everything else. So yeah, that's how that happened. And my actual first interaction with you on YouTube was when you were making all these videos. You had a community page that back then, and every second picture on your community page was you standing on a scale, showing the weight on the scale, and talking about how your liver and your spleen and your kidneys and your colon and your pancreas and all your internal organs were fucked, and you were going to die any day, and you're going to martyr yourself, and your precipitous weight loss was due to all these different afflictions, and everything was going to go sideways, and you were going to go south, and you were sitting by your bed. So the very first video I made, and I have the video, maybe I'll post it up here one day on a short. I got on top of a scale, and I videotaped downwards, and I said, oh, this is Maga Man, oh, my precipitous weight loss, and you talked about how your pee was looking like honey, and I took a peanut butter, and I said, oh, my feces is turning into peanut butter, but I give it to Esther. Some silly nonsense like that.
Maga Man here, and things are going downhill. You guys have been watching my videos, and you know my spleen and my fatty liver and my sarcoidosis are all coming to a head now, and I don't know what to do. As a matter of fact, I've been peeing, and it's like honey, and I've decided to bottle it and give it to my friend Esteban, because he always takes me in when I'm at my lowest point. And the newest thing happening now, my feces have turned into peanut butter. And I don't know what else to do. So, like I always say, stick together, watch your six. This is Maga Man signing out.
And in that video on that channel, the very first video I ever made, making fun of your hysteria, you posted and said something about that you were going to take me to court after that one video. So here we are like a year later, and we're in the same place. It's the same Wally Groundhog Day merry-go-round. So here, this is out for you, this is out for everybody. I mean, I'm gonna post it up there, and I have to remember, put it in my own head. I'm not a really great video editor. I don't even know if I can edit this one or add to this one, because my computer doesn't have the computer power to do it, and I'm videotaping this at 1080 at 60 frames. So I might have to wait until that new laptop gets delivered to do it. But I wish everybody a nice weekend, and keep an eye out for Dogpile next Wednesday or Thursday, whenever Dan decides to do it. And again, you know what? I wasn't gonna do the slippery version of Dogpile for all of those out there not in the know. That was one of Wally's other great faux pas that had him ranting and raving and blowing his top and apologizing and shaving his head and coming back with hollow points. There were a bunch of MGTOW guys, and I think Tico, Tren, and Hidden, they would do this Friday Night Blaze. And it was, I guess, Tico Tren pays for a service, and it's a legally trademarked name, Friday Night Blaze, and it was multicast on, I guess, a couple of different accounts, and it was kind of a good show, and it was funny. And you know, Maga Man was on there because, like, he's always huffing and puffing about things. He would be like the guy that comes in, and he's always, you know, when he gets into a live stream, he always takes it over and yells and screams and, you know, barks at the moon. So one Friday, they, I guess whoever runs it, Hidden couldn't do it, or Tico didn't do it. So big dummy Maga Man all of a sudden, you know, steals the logo and stamps his Maga Man edition of the Friday Night Blaze and hijacks the whole thing, and then comes back, you know, crying and weeping and sobbing when these guys were mad at him for like just doing that. You know, he cried, "Oh, did you ask me?" And that's when he came back with those whole hollow point things. So Maga Man always has a different, he has always a different dragon to slay. If it's not me and Dan, it's somebody else. Just give it a couple minutes, and he was huffing and puffing about some guy that said something to Maurice Delt. So it's, you know, if it's not its family, if it's not the Star Wars guys, if it's not the 9/11 guys, and this guy TJ, he did a whole video on this guy because this guy didn't like him and didn't think what he was saying was kosher. So there's always another dragon. He's like, what was that, Moby Dick? He's like Captain Ahab. He's always got his whale to catch or his dragon to slay. So I didn't want to do that with Dan. I'm not going to take Dan's thing. Dogpile is great. It's fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm not going to take it and put Slippery on there, the Slippery edition, because you know what? That's something I'll reserve for Wally. Because, you know, if you guys have kids out there and you want a role model, you know, point them to the Wally channel. That would be what I would do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because he's all our favorite 9/11 national hero. He's our favorite shock jock. He's our favorite minor celebrity. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I left my tail bag open, and a nice guy in the car next to me just, so I gotta go over here and pull over, but I'm gonna pull over. I hope I didn't lose anything, but there's nothing in there that's that critical anyway. But you know, see that? This is New York, and Wally always says New Yorkers, they just have blinders on, they don't care what happens. But there's a beautiful, pure example of a person that, you know, sees me, the big dummy, talking to myself, and probably wondering what's wrong with this guy. In the meantime, my tail bag is open. So guys, enjoy your weekend, have fun, and we'll catch you next week on the Dogpile. Slippery out.